You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. A motorcycle rider led police on a high-speed chase Sunday night in Hazleton. Patrol officers spotted a Yamaha motorcycle speeding in the 500 block of West Broad Street around 11:30 p.m. They attempted to stop the bike being operated by 46-year-old Jose Martinez Perez, but he took off, passing through several stop signs before he turned onto North Locust Street, where officers lost sight of him. He was later seen on North Church Street and once again failed to stop for police. He ended up parking his bike on Alter Street and attempted to hide behind a truck, but was taken into custody. Martinez Perez faces a charge of fleeing and eluding, along with numerous traffic violations. He was taken to jail, unable to post $1,500 bail. A Lackawanna County man was arrested Friday for robbing a bank in Wilkes-Barre. 31-year-old Robert Wozni of Dunmore allegedly walked into the M&T Bank near Cole Street Friday afternoon, armed with a rifle. He approached the counter and demanded that the teller give him money. Wozni fled the scene in a Ford Fiesta with police in pursuit and crashed the vehicle on West Hartford Street in Ashley. He then took off on foot before being captured by officers and was found to be in possession of a backpack filled with money. He was charged with robbery, illegal possession of a firearm, fleeing police, and reckless driving. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for a lack of $250,000 bail. A Schuylkill County woman was jailed for allegedly fighting with police at a Tamaqua pool. Officers were called to the Tamaqua Bungalow pool Friday for a report of a disturbance. 36-year-old Stephanie Crute and her daughters were asked to leave for playing loud music that contained offensive language. Crute allegedly pushed an officer, then threw punches while resisting arrest. Police said Crute's daughter also allegedly attacked an officer while her mother was being taken into custody. Crute was charged with aggravated assault, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, simple assault, and harassment. She was locked up after failing to post 10% of $25,000 bail. COVID-19 vaccines will now be mandatory for healthcare workers with the Department of Veterans Affairs. The agency made the announcement as other healthcare organizations are urging facilities to require vaccinations for medical personnel. The VA wants to keep veterans healthy as cases of the Delta variant increase nationwide. Vaccines will be required for VA physicians, nurses, dentists, and optometrists. Right now, there's no federal law that makes it mandatory for a company to require workers to get vaccinated, so it's unclear what would happen if a VA employee refuses to get vaccinated. City Council recently approved the final reading of an ordinance that keeps the current earned income tax rates in effect for another year. The approved rates correspond with Hazleton's Act 47 Financial Recovery Plan and apply to people who live and work in Hazleton. Approval ensures the rate remains at 1.75%, while the non-resident EIT stays at 2%. The hope was to have the ordinance finalized in June, but hit a delay waiting for the court order. The city must petition the Luzerne County Court of Common Pleas for approval in order to raise EIT rates beyond the threshold allowed by law, which it's been doing since Act 47 took effect in 2018. The wage tax rates passed unanimously. If you haven't ordered your Pennsylvania Real ID yet, you've still got time. PennDOT pushed back the enforcement date for Real ID compliant driver's licenses and photo IDs until May 3rd of 2023. This is the second time the deadline's been pushed back since its initial date of October 1st of 2020. Real ID is a federal law that affects how states issue driver's licenses and ID cards if they're going to be acceptable for federal purposes, such as boarding a commercial domestic flight. There's no requirement that any resident obtain a Real ID, as PennDOT continues to offer standard-issue driver's licenses and photo IDs. Be on the lookout for certain recalled carrots that might have you saying, "What's up, Doc?" Grimway Farms voluntarily recalled some retail packaged carrots due to possible salmonella contamination. The items listed on your screen are those affected by the recall, which was a result of routine company testing. There have been no reported illnesses to date, but anyone who has one of these products should throw them away. You can call 1-800-301-3101 or visit Grimway Farms' website for more information. Pennsylvania health officials say don't let ticks make you sick this summer. WYLN's Julie Stefanovich has more on ways to keep protected from the disease-carrying pests.
When frolicking outdoors this summer, make sure you bring plenty of sunscreen and don't forget the bug spray, as ticks are prevalent in Pennsylvania this time of year.
This summer, don't let a tick make you sick. Protect yourself, your children, and your families and your pets.
Deer ticks are everywhere and are the most common carriers of Lyme disease. Symptoms of the disease include headache, fever, chills, and muscle aches. One sure way to know that you've been bitten by a tick is a bullseye-like rash, so be aware of your surroundings.
And you also want to make sure that you avoid areas that ticks really thrive in, so high grass, dense wooded areas, but realizing that any place outdoors may have ticks as well. You're not going to feel those tick bites, right? So that, you can have a tick on you that is biting you and infecting you, and you really won't notice that, so that's why you have to really look for them.
There are ways to protect yourself against tick bites, like wearing insect repellent.
Going outdoors, you want to make sure that you're covering all of your exposed areas with light-colored, lightweight clothing. You also want to use an EPA-approved insect or tick repellent.
Make sure you check yourself and loved ones thoroughly when you're finished with your outdoor activities.
I think the easiest and simplest thing is to do a tick check first as you're done with your walk and getting back to your car before you're in the car. Just taking the time to look at the folds of your pants, look at the folds, and then when you get home, taking those clothing off, as Dr. Johnson said, toss the clothing in the dryer unless you decide to go to wash them. But also, if you wash them, also then dry them, because it's the dryer that's going to kill the tick, not the washer. And then a shower, including a head scrub, and then a tick check.
If you're experiencing symptoms of tick-borne disease, it's important to speak with your healthcare provider.
Watch for symptoms, and about 10 days post bite, I started developing symptoms such as fever, headache, and body aches. And I knew it was in the summertime, and if you get flu-like symptoms in the summer, you're looking at probably mosquito-borne, tick-borne disease. And in my case, I knew it was from the tick. And I sought care from my provider, my medical provider, and was put on antibiotics for 3 weeks.
For more information, visit the Department of Health's website or follow them on social media. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on WYLN News, local and national athletes make their exits, plus why Flanagan chose to stay at MMI. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Get your umbrellas out because it's about to get wet.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton, everything to make your house a home.
What's on TV? Plenty. WYLN TV 35, the best in local programming.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. How about that cheesy sign? If you get close enough, you can see it. But if you pass by Airport Road, we have a ton of inventory. Whether you're looking for a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, we have them all. Get a new Ram truck during the Make It the Summer event. So if you're looking for a new car or a used car, come to Blaze Alexander Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram here on Airport Road in Greater Hazleton, and you'll find out why we take the deals the other guys won't.
Hepburn-Lycoming lives to play another game after defeating Valley West in the 10 to 12-year-old Little League State Tournament elimination game at Whispering Willows. The Section 3 champions walked off the field last night with a 7-5 victory over our very own Valley West All-Stars. And although the double elimination state tournament pushes on tonight without Valley West, they sure had an exciting run. This group of All-Stars won District 18 and Section 6 championships. They competed in the state tournament as 10-year-olds in 2019 and again as 11 and 12-year-olds this summer, getting to do the latter on their very own home diamond. It's certainly an experience that they'll be sure to cherish for the rest of their lives. ROC won the gold in women's gymnastics after U.S. star Simone Biles exited with a medical issue. The Russian team posted a score of 169.528, ahead of the U.S. in second place at 166.096. The American team of Sunisa Lee, Grace McCallum, and Jordan Childs competed in the final 3 rotations without Biles and hung in there for silver. The 24-year-old, who's considered to be the greatest gymnast of all time, huddled with a trainer after landing her vault and exited the competition floor with the team doctor. WYLN's all-time OTC hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Joe Flanagan's back this week as MMI's new athletic director, so let's talk sports. Here's part 2.
"17 years at MMI. Now you take on the role of athletic director, and I know we kid a lot, and I don't know how I can phrase this without making it sound that I'm busting on you. I'm actually being serious. 17 years, and then you're going to take on the athletic director position. What is it about MMI that you keep going back?"
Oh, you know, the main thing with MMI that I really, really enjoy is just the quality of kids you work with. And, you know, and I think that's for every school in our area, have some great quality kids. But for MMI, you know, the place that gave me a chance as a 32-year-old coach that, you know, no one knew who I was, you know, other than a junior high coach. That's why, and that quality and that family type atmosphere in the school.
Man, between you and Coach Atherton, you keep bringing up ages and years. I'm feeling really old.
I tell it that like when someone else brought that up to me about you and Coach Atherton being the longest tenured. I'm like, wow, that is a scary, scary thought. But yeah, you know, honored really that, you know, I've been able to stay in coaching that long.
Coming up on Freeland's News Choice, we're talking flood alerts on this Trooper Talk Tuesday, plus Leading the Way, Part 2. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Did
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
at 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of a new show here on WYLN, Let's Talk Sports. We're going to talk between our basketball and football seasons. We're going to talk to coaches, guests about past seasons, events coming up, different types of things sports related. It's all going to be here on Let's Talk Sports, and you'll be able to see it here on WYLN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Hello folks, and welcome to Trooper Talk Tuesday here on WYLN. We are joined as always by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Folks, today we're talking about, you may be watching TV every once in a while and you might see this little crawl that goes across the screen that says flood warning in your counties and maybe listing your county. So we want to be talking about the safety tips that you need to be aware of when those happen, what you need to be on the lookout for, and if you're driving on the road at some point that day when there is a flood warning or any kind of flood incident going on, how to be safe, especially if you encounter flooding. So why don't we start off with just when people see those warnings come up, what do they need to kind of prepare themselves with?
It all depends on if they're leaving their house, if they're going somewhere, if they have to go to work, if they have to go to a doctor's appointment, right? So you know your route and know if that route is going to be affected by the weather. We've had a lot of rain this summer, a lot of rain. And a lot of times that leads to some flooding, even some local streets. And the important thing to know is do not drive through a flooded street. We've seen this many times. You think you can make it, and then right in the middle of it was a little deeper than you thought, and your vehicle's stuck. And now we have to come out there, or we have to contact the fire department or somebody to come get you in the vehicle out there with a tow truck. It's not worth it. You know, there's this phrase that I want to say Pennsylvania EMA put out that says, turn around, don't drown. And it's totally worth it. It makes sense. We see it a lot. Everybody always decides, well, this is the quickest way I need to get where I'm going. But trust me, if your vehicle gets stuck, it's not going to be quick at all. You're going to be there for a while till we get you to safety. Then we have to tow your vehicle out there if it can't be driven. So it's not worth it. If you see a flooded road, turn around, don't drive on it. But more importantly, then call someone. Let somebody know, because if nobody's out there, if the road isn't closed down, somebody else might try to drive through. So call 911, let them know the location of the flooded road, and we will be able to close it down. We'll have fire police go out there, they can close it down until we get it fixed.
And I mean, along with flooding, obviously comes the rain, and sometimes, and I know I've experienced this before, heavy rain, and to the point of, like, you know, you lose entire visibility.
Yes.
So if somebody were to, you know, maybe the flooding hasn't happened yet, but the cause of the flooding is coming down.
Yes.
How should people handle those situations on the
road? So I'm glad you brought that up. When you have this heavy rain, first of all, always drop your speed. Okay, never go as fast as you normally would because your visibility is down. You don't know about the vehicles in front of you. And also, state law in Pennsylvania, if your windshield wipers are on, your headlights must be on, right? See and be seen. That's what it's all about. On top of that, another good thing that I always tell people is if you're going below the posted speed limit, put your hazard lights on, your four-way lights on. Again, see and be seen. It gives you more visibility. You could also see cars in front of you if they have theirs on. A lot of times if you're approaching traffic that might be stopped, put your four-ways on quick, and this way it's letting the cars know behind you that something's going on. So in the heavy rain, I always recommend that. Put your hazard lights on, make sure your lights are on. And a lot of times your headlights will come on automatically with newer vehicles. Just double check it. If not, click them on. It's very easy. In dangerous weather, when that rain is coming down and the visibility is difficult, you want your headlights on, you want your hazard lights on, and if you have to pull over until it passes, do that. Just make sure you're pulled over in a safe location.
And if somebody gets caught in one of these situations, or is a passerby to seeing another car get caught in these situations, what should they do properly to address the situation?
Yeah, if anybody needs help, you just call 911, give a good location, and the police department that covers that jurisdiction will come out and handle it.
All right, folks. Flooding can be a serious thing, especially around this area. We have the valley, and you never know when flooding is going to hit our area in a way that's going to affect us on the road, and so you just want to always be aware. We've been having a lot of rain, as you said. Yeah, we've been having a ton of rain this summer, and if you find yourself in heavy rain, remember these safety tips, going out there, being safe on the road, and just taking care of yourself and those around you. I like that seen and be seen, or?
See and be seen, and turn around, don't drown.
There we go. Turn around, don't drown. All right, well, thank you for talking with us.
No problem.
And thank you, folks, for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton Buick GMC on Route 93. Want a great deal on this GMC? Come on down to Route 93. This is the sexiest sport utility on the market, GMC Acadia AT4U. And you wanted pre-owned cars? We've got the largest selection of pre-owned inventory in the area. Whether you guys are looking for a Buick Envision or the smaller Encore GX, this ain't your father's Buick anymore. You want a great deal on a Buick? Come to Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton and see why we take the deals the other guys won't.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Dr. Alex, we have Elaine Inama with us. She's going to talk about how being an aerobic instructor took its toll on her body and how chiropractic helped even her sore feet. So stay tuned.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Fire Chief Donald Lutchko is leading the way into part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Hazleton City Fire Chief Donald Leschko. So we were talking about your childhood. Tell us about when that kind of clicked for you. I mean, obviously, growing up with the fire department, that obviously has an influence, but where did it click that you were like, you know what, this is my path? And then kind of how did you go about that? Tell us about your career path to fire chief now.
So my career path started when I was actually in high school. I was very involved in McAdoo. My father died at the age of 14. So I had to really learn, just where I wanted to go in life. And I was in at that time, growing up, I was at the Hazleton Career Center, so I was in the plumbing class, taking plumbing thing. So I got to go, a good friend of mine worked at KME Fire Apparatus in Escahoning, a good friend of our family's. I went on co-op there, I worked there through my co-op years of high school, senior years, and I got to build fire trucks. And still being involved in the fire service, and still be volunteering in McAdoo. And one day I had a good friend of mine say, why don't you take the test for the city of Hazleton? They're giving it a test coming up. It was in '99. We took the test, it was August of 1999. And then going on, taking the agility, passing all that. And then I think it was in November of 2000, I got called in by Chief Powell and said, I was offered a job. So would you like to be a firefighter? And at that time we got hired, myself and Deputy Chief Jones actually got hired the same day together. We got sworn in the same day. We started in January of 2001, and from there it just catapulted. I was a firefighter. I was assigned to the Diamond Station. I worked there on Church Street for a while. Then I transferred. I went downtown. I worked in the old Pioneer Firehouse, which was in the parking garage. Worked there on a ladder truck, and then there was an opening. An opening in the deputy chief's position. So I applied for that, submitted a resume. Then one day I get a call from then was Chief Powell and says, come up and have a meeting. We don't have a meeting with you. And I go up to City Hall, have a meeting with him and the mayor, and I was selected as deputy chief, and that was in October of '04. And then in '05, Chief Powell had to retire due to his health conditions. And Mayor Barletta came to me and says, I want you to be the fire chief. And from that point on, and here I am, almost 16 years later in October, I'll be chief.
Oh, wow.
I have 20 years. I just did my 20th year with the department. And so much happened over those 16 years of being chief. There's so much progression. And I honestly say I do work and have the best job in the world because I have the greatest team in the world that I work for. And I'm so excited and just so happy to see where our department's progressed from. The changes in technology, our department changed with that. And and honestly, I think we took the department from a department that a lot of people sometimes would laugh at, and I'll say they laughed at our department, to a department that now we're recognized throughout the state and the nation as a progressive department. And I feel that just didn't happen because of me. And I always say I won't take credit for anything that happens. It's because of the great team we have and a great team we build and that we work forward to.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow as Chief Leschko continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.